Well, I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 10, and I do have other disabilities associated with it that were about 8 years earlier. Epilepsy, I was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 18 months, as well with, and also tuberous sclerosis complex, which is a genetic disorder, and there's only 1 million across the globe that have got it. Whereas basically, well, it was inherited by my mother, so, and also things things have been a bit tricky in terms of social skills. My social skills are not overly perfect, and when it comes, it's a bit like with autism. It's a bit like, like when you get a tape recorder that jams itself. It's a bit like that. It just slips from. It just slips. Like for example, I don't mean like slip ups, like things like slipping up on a thing. No, it's like failure to change subjects accordingly rapidly, because with neurodiversity, it has been quite a journey. It has been quite a journey with autism, and not the easiest of times. But I have done lots of things, and I do attend college. I used to do the I used to be at the Colne Lodge site for 2.5 years, and then I went to Brookfield because due to there was inspection problems back then, and then I came back in 2009, just part time at the Colne Lodge in the last 15 months of the site I was at, and then after that I came here on the 28th of September, 2010. Yeah. Well, the reason why I thought of getting involved with Anna Kennedy Online is because when it came to Autism's Got Talent, I thought it was the perfect opportunity. After so many years of my work like this, I thought they really need some help, because I was in the acting part for the first few years, and I'm actually one of the originals of the show as I used to do acting with Jamie, but then I thought this is perfect opportunity, because after the downfall of ASCAP and I had to revamp my whole project with lots and lots of work that I did. I was all alone, basically part of the project known as Advanced Graphics production for enterprises and projects, and AGT was the absolute gold mine for me, and I just thought, instead of them doing it, instead of just trying for them doing it all, they just needed someone that was dedicated, and I thought I could do it so that they could end up on the big headlines, and it's worked. Although I did have a lot of problems with the Malik Series 5, that's what I christened it, compared to some of my units that I did date from 2009, some of them. The old ones, the recycling, 2007, on the 17th of October. Yeah. Well, basically, this is the purpose. The reason I did that is because, although that was just a hypothetical guess, I didn't really know at the time how it was going to pan out. But it seemed to have worked, and for example, like, if you got like designs like these, it all came from my own head. Like, you've got someone that's got a very active mind with the graphics and stuff. All the thought I've got, it's basically with colour schemes I did all those years ago. With Autism's Got Talent, it was just absolutely surprising that something, all because thanks to sound. If it wasn't for sound from a three-phase motor, like the 1996 stock, none of that would have gone through my own head, and I just thought, I need to create something very, very precious that the show would nurture for years to come. And I'll give a demonstration on one slide there you go. basically, the design itself, from my own head, and also as they say, you're talking about the Aurea, I've kept the design at large for years. Not much change. There won't be much change in the design for future years because it's set with the package, because it doesn't age. But I can manipulate it very easily and add extras to it. So basically it will stay like this for many, many years, but it will have some alterations because honestly, doing drastic changes is not necessary because it takes so long to age. You're talking something 8 years ago and it hasn't changed once. It's like immortal, so it's an immortalized package. And if you think about it, okay. The reason I made it so slow is because I've learned lessons in the past that fast movements detract people, and also it could affect people with certain disabilities like sensory disorders. I remember my dad saying he wanted something faster, but I actually told him repeatedly that people sense movement, a bit like T-Rex 65 million years ago, based on movement, same as us. And if you think about it, if you want something that's really, really, really quick, what's going to happen? People are going to say, they're just going to freeze. They're going to think, wow, wow, wow. Oh, let's look at that instead of the performance. No, 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 no. No good. So I've slowed it right down to 3 minutes compared to 40 seconds last year because I thought it was just unnecessary to have it. I thought 40 seconds is not slow enough, and it did have a feature which blocked it out, which I was a little bit disappointed with. You're talking a 2-year-old unit here. And I had to slow it down because you have to consider people with disabilities. Let's say, I'm not entirely sure as such, but I do know that people with disabilities will just lock themselves into it because it's like a magnet. Colours are like a magnet for people with autism, and I just thought it won't be acceptable for it to be like 1 minute, because from now on I'm going to cap it to a minimal of 3 minutes because I think it's just necessary just to comply with the because imagine you've got performers bouncing all over the place. You have to make it slower than the eye can detect so that it dances with the performers, but also makes it subtle for the audience so that the audience doesn't get distracted. Because if it got distracted to a high speed, the show wouldn't be very good, because you have to be very cautious on how fast or how slow. So you just got to get it right so that things like the Maliks would behave according to plan. For example, as the Aurea changes from one to the other, this is the first unit that would feature something like this. Oh, it means a lot because I tried to get recognition for so many years, because I had been battled so many years. Like, as mentioned before, tried to get recognition through ASCAT, didn't work. I was stuck for many years. And I thought trying to get myself recognised with my talent, because I think there are some people out there that can do things like this, but I thought in my own case, I thought it was necessary to show people that I am a smarty at PowerPoint, and mostly I was about 90-95% self-taught mostly, but I did get a little bit of teaching, but most of the time I found it mostly myself. I did put sound packages years and years ago on the old ones, just as an experimental phase, and then like so something I like, because I'm a rail enthusiast, and liveries and so inspired me as well. So, and now with things like that, that is what I call talent, and I thought recognised it was really important, because to be honest, this is my kid and so is my project, and I thought something like this was highly important to me. I also have something to say to Anna Kennedy. Thanks for giving me the recognition, and I will be more than happy to continue providing this sort of thing. Even though I may only make a few changes, it will be largely the same. But I would also like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to get this off the ground, because I've been waiting for this. And most of it won't change much, but it will have bits to it. And hopefully, for years to come, there'll be probably a better recognition of the show.